we will be discussing strangeness. I have Karma Love with me. You want to say hi, Karma?
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Um, and in particular, when it comes to strangeness, I want to get into what we were discussing yesterday during our history stream. And towards the end of it, it was concerning Atlantis. We kind of tapped into it a little bit when we were talking about Casey, and then we started talking about uh,
Jack Parson.
Jack Parsons and stuff, and then finally, I think it was conspiracy theories. We did. No, we
Nikola
did.
Tesla.
We did Nikola Tesla. Now we did Aleister Crowley on this one, right?
A little bit, but we really did not get in as deep as I feel like we could have. Like we were more on Parson. Are we gonna talk about the secret space program? I was supposed to do some research, but I kind of got caught in what seems like a hurricane.
Well, I
It
mean,
feels like anyway.
if you want to do the secret space program, we can. But if you want to do Atlantis, we can do that too.
Oh yeah, let's do that because we started talking. You said just because we were talking about yesterday in regards to even the Phoenicians and the trade route and stuff like that. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking we should do because first of all, we started out in Egypt when we started doing the history. You know what I mean? And then we were discussing the Phoenicians and stuff and the pyramids, things of that nature. Now, the reason why I don't really dive too much into Atlantis is because well, some of the stuff I've already mentioned. You know, everybody likes to link history up to freaking like the Sumerians up to South America, and I've already gone over that. You know, my thoughts of
Hmm.
that, and
So
it's
wait, it's the Sumerians that you're saying would be
well,
in South America? Oh,
they're they're they try to link it all together, and it's become a trend. Okay, like if you look at a lot of people who discuss ancient civilizations, lost ancient civilizations, you know, everything leads back
hmm.
to the Inca. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, and you can't forget this. Yeah, I can because there's no link. There never was. Uh,
right. You would like to see the tie to it,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Show the evidence. The only thing I've seen that even connects anything to do with other continents with America is what we were discussing with Egypt and that mummy where they found traces of cocaine on them. And other than that, there's no links, you know. And it's like with Atlantis. Okay, everybody uh, they don't. Everybody who talks about it really don't know the history about Atlantis. Like uh, when Plato mentioned his freaking, I think it was his great grandfather because it wasn't like his direct grandfather. Okay, Solaris. But
Yeah,
when he mentioned it, he mentioned the story in his writings one time. Okay, just one time, and it never caught on in the ancient world. There was never anything added to it. It just sat there. Okay. The only time that it took off was during the Middle Ages. Somehow, it became real popular during that time. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
so during the time of the ancient times, nobody even paid attention to that story. It was just one writing that Plato made concerning Atlantis, and that was it. You know, so those are kind of the stuff that freaking that I learned about it. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. I mean, it would be great if somebody did find Atlantis because there's other places that are mentioned that aren't even Atlantis that were supposed to be sunken islands and sunken continents too. You know what I mean? So
No, I didn't know that though. But hold on. So you're saying besides Atlantis, there's supposed to be other cities underwater as well?
Yeah, there are.
Oh,
Actually,
which ones?
hold on a minute.
Okay.
I had a message from Annie for real, and I tried to contact her, and she wanted me to talk to her, and I told her that uh, I didn't get a message from her.
Is she on mine? She's on
Yeah,
mines.
yeah.
Mm,
But
I never heard of her.
what I did want to do is I did want to make it a topic, and just for the sake of it being Atlantis, I went ahead and I pulled up, you know, Wikipedia Atlantis, because you're not gonna hear good stuff on Encyclopedia Britannica and stuff. But
Right, you gotta go down and go deep to find the real research in regards.
now you can get information about Atlantis from other sources, like people who write their own blogs and turn them into a website. You know what I mean? But even right there, what you're gonna get is their interpretation of it. You know what I mean? Now, Atlantis is a fictional island mentioned in Plato's works in Timaeus and Critias as part of an allegory of the hubris of nations. In this story, Atlantis is described as a naval empire that ruled all western parts of the known world, making it the literary counter image of the Achaemenid Empire. After an ill-fated attempt to conquer ancient Athens, Atlantis falls out of favor with the deities and submerges into the Atlantic Ocean. Since Plato describes Athens as resembling his idol state in the Republic, the Atlantis story is meant to bear witness to the superiority of his concept of a state. Despite its minor importance in Plato's works, the Atlantis story has had a considerable impact in literature. The allegoric aspect of Atlantis was taken up in utopian works of several Renaissance writers such as Francis Bacon, New Atlantis, Thomas More's Utopia, and Thomas More's Utopia. On the other hand, 19th century amateur scholars misinterpreted Plato's narrative as historical tradition, most famously Ignatius L. Donnelly in his Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Plato's vague indications of the time of the events more than 9,000 years before his time, and the alleged location of Atlantis beyond the Pillars of Hercules, gave rise to much pseudo-scientific speculation. As a consequence, Atlantis has become a byword for any and all supposed advanced prehistoric lost civilizations and continues to inspire contemporary fiction from comic books to films. While present-day philologists and classicists agree on the story's fictional nature, there is still debate on what served as its inspiration. Plato is known to have freely borrowed some of his allegories and metaphors from older traditions, as he did with the story of Gyges. This led a number of scholars to suggest possible inspirations of Atlantis from Egyptian records of the Thera eruption, the Sea People's invasion, or the Trojan War. Others have rejected this chain of tradition as implausible and insists that Plato created the entire fictional account, drawing loose inspiration from contemporary events such as the failed Athenian invasion of Sicily in 415 to 413 BC, or the destruction of Hiliki or Hilike in 373 BC. You still there? All right. Yeah. So I've got to switch that over. I think that's just a false thing. It might be somebody or a robo thing. I don't know where Karma went, but I'll continue with it. So what we got here is we have a writing that was basically oh wow, that was me. That's crap. Yeah, it did it to me again. So let me come back in here, hit my Jitsi, and get back on my Jitsi meet. Yeah, it did it to me again.
Look, and I heard you stop talking. I'm like, hello? Hello? Are you there? So I thought it was mine because I'm in the middle of a super horrible storm right now. So I was like, maybe it was mine. I came back, it still was like, it's the other one, I guess, that you used for your screen share. And it showed that one, but it was no talking. So I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow.
I was
But
sitting
okay.
there. I was sitting there in the middle.
Reading.
Yeah, and it just basically kicked me off into my own little room. So
See, and without you pressing any buttons, why would it do that? Like, that does not even make any sense for that to be a default. Like, how if we're not pressing anything would it kind of separate us into breakout rooms?
yeah, it's crazy. That's why I say, I mean, you know, if I got more support from all these guys who are like cheering on open source on these chats, then I'd be more than happy to just continue using Jitsi. But I mean, this is just nonsense, to be honest with you.
And it's only just started happening. It makes me feel like I really feel like you're hacked. The other day, Tan said something about using a password, and I feel like he might have been getting that vibe too, because all of a sudden there's so many issues with your shows, and it's just like, why? Like, they're not justifiable. Like, what are you doing different with streaming? And you know what I mean, using the same type of settings and the same type of setup. Anyway, you gotta go back a little bit for the reading. Just
what
a little
I'm gonna
bit.
do is I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to post the link to what I just read.
Okay.
And then I'll let you read it. You can read it aloud, and then as you go, if you have any comments that you want to add on to it, then go for it, and we can go from there, because I've already read it out, and I don't want to do it
Where'd
again.
you? It's okay. I was about to say, oh, here it is. I got it right here. Give me 1 second.
So,
And okay, Atlantis. You want me to start or no?
Yeah, go for it.
Okie dokie. Atlantis. Atlantis is a fictional island mentioned in Plato's work Timaeus and Critias as part of an allegory on the hubris of nations. In the story, Atlantis is described as a naval empire that ruled all western parts of the known world, making it the literary concert image of the Achaemenid Empire. After an ill-fated attempt to conquer ancient Athens, Atlantis falls out of favor with the deities and submerges into the Atlantic Ocean,